I am going to be doing my own presentation now, regardless that the event has already ended. I am going to be doing my own presentation, and I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you will find it valuable. So, shall we? Do I have anyone online? Hello, 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 hello. We're going to be discussing something very, very interesting in my presentation. We're going to be discussing about money. I know a lot of us like money. A lot of us like money, apart from me. Apart from me. I think I'm the only one that doesn't like money. So if you're watching, please let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, please drop a comment. Please drop a comment for me. Please drop hashtag replay so that I will know you're watching the replay. Thank you, everyone who is joining me. Okay, so let's just dive straight into business. Let's dive straight into business. You're all welcome to this presentation. My name is Omobabirin Adeola Oshideko. I am a personal development coach, a branding expert, and a social media influencer. But today I'm going to be functioning as a personal development coach. And what I will be talking about under personal development is a bit related to emotional intelligence and how our emotions affect our finances. So let's just dive straight into business. As humans, we have emotions. In fact, you having emotions is what makes you human. Because anyone who doesn't have an emotion or doesn't have emotions is not human being. That's one of the things that makes us different from the other category of animals. We have feelings. Emotions are simply feelings, how you feel part time. That's your emotion. You feel angry, you feel happy, you feel disgusted, you feel anxious, you feel sad, you love someone, all these things are feelings, and that is what makes you human. Okay, so I have a chart here with me. I have a chart here with me that shows that as human beings, we have close to 100 emotions. We have close to 100 emotions. And most times we usually think that anger is the only emotion, or we think that anger is the only emotion that is bad. We have close to 100 human emotions that we feel as human beings per time. We have disgust, sad, anger, fear, surprise, angry, optimistic, intimate, peaceful, powerful, accepted, proud, interested, joyful, excited, amazed, confused, scared, anxious, insecure, submissive, rejected, disrespected, hurt, threatened, hateful, mad, aggressive, frustrated, critical, disapproval, awful, and so many. I have the chart here. I have the chart here with me. I'm going to post it in the comments after this video. We have close to 100 emotions as human beings. And as we all know, humans are emotional beings. We can't survive. We can't live without emotion. We feel emotion at every point in time. Okay, so now let's come back to where we want to dwell on today, which is the relationship or the correlation between emotions and our finances, which is money. Now, for money, we have so many emotions attached to money. We have fear, we have anxiety, we have envy, we have shame, we have guilt. Those are the four major emotions that are attached to our personal finances as human. So if you want to take a decision on your personal finances now, all these four emotions are going to be present. It is now it is now left to you to decide whether you want those emotions to overwhelm you, or you want to control your feeling in such a way that it doesn't affect your decision on money matters. Okay, that it doesn't affect your decision on money matter. It is now left to you to make that decision. Okay, so I'm coming 1 minute. So now let's talk about the emotions related to money. And no one is entirely rational when it comes to money. At times you will take some decision, or you will do some things around money that later you'll be blaming yourself, like, why did I do this? I should have done better, or I should have done something else. You keep blaming yourself. So we cannot say we are totally or entirely rational when it comes to money. And that is why we are having this kind of conversation, so that we are self-aware. We know these things, and when they want to appear, we are in charge. We are able to control them, because we are already aware that this is an emotional decision I want to take. So you work for your money, you know how stressful it is to gather money. So if you want to take any irrational decision about money, you should be able to say, oh no, I will not allow my emotion. A lot of people are emotionally blackmailed when it comes to money, when it comes to spending money. Okay, so let us dive straight into business. At times, we spend too much of money out of recklessness or exuberance. And at times, we spend so little out of guilt. Oh, I don't want them to know that I don't want them to say I'm the only one that did not buy Ashwebi. Or I don't want them to say I am poor. I don't want them to look down on me. Let me spend this money. In fact, we even spend some money at times to even show off, so that we can also belong. So that when they say people who are here, me too, I'm there. You not start spending recklessly because you want to show off to someone, or you want to prove a point. In fact, that is even so common on social media. You see a lot of girls, they go and do all sorts, prostitution, they do ritual, they do all sorts of things just to get money. And at the end of the day, what are they trying to do? They are trying to prove a point to people who are not even interested in their life, to people who are not even interested in what they are doing. Okay, so at times we make some irrational decision around money just because we want to prove a point. If you're watching, please help me put all these things in the comments. Please help me put these things in the comments. Okay, so we need to understand that emotion plays a huge role in our spending habits. The way you spend your money, emotion has a role to play, whether you take it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. That is the truth. Okay, so I want to talk about 4 emotions that is attached to money. But before I talk about it, I want to establish something, that an emotional stable person is someone that is productive. If you are not emotionally stable, you can never be productive. For instance, if I am being overwhelmed with fear, I will not concentrate on something that will bring money. Maybe I need to quickly do a write-up, or I need to edit a book for someone, or I need to do something to make money. You discover that my attention will be diverted. I will not have a clear head, a clear mind, because I am going through emotional instability. So you need to understand that there is a direct correlation between your emotions and your productivity. If you want to be productive, then you should be in charge of your emotion. Okay? I'm coming. I need to adjust my okay, I think it's better this way. So if you want to be productive, please help me put in the comments. If you want to be productive, you need to be in charge of your emotion. If you are not emotionally stable, you can never be productive. And it is when you are productive that you can work for money. Productivity is equal to earning. If you don't work, you will not be paid. So you need to understand that you at every point in time, you need to be in charge of your emotion so that you can be productive. I hear a lot of people say, Mintha, there was a time some people were saying some stuff about me, and I put it on my WhatsApp status, and someone like, oh, Minta, how did you cope? How do you keep being productive even in the middle of all this? And I said, you know what? All those things will not pay my bill. I get a lot of hate speech every day from people backstabbing. I get a lot of reports here and there. But if I allow those things to enter into me, I will not be productive. And at the end of the day, it will still boil down to the same thing, because those people saying bad things about me, they will not have a cause to mock me, demand. So, oh, can't you see? She's not productive again. She's not even doing anything again. She's not coming up with anything again. Okay. So you need to shift your focus from your emotions and face reality and face business, because it is business that can give you money. If you don't have anything bringing money to your table, how do you want to pay your bills? So emotions are part, your work are part. You need to be in charge of your emotions in such a way that you are able to manage it and it doesn't affect your productivity. Okay, so let's quickly dive into the 4 types of emotions attached to money. Thank you, everyone who is joining. Temitope Adetunji, Constance. Thank you, Samantha, Lazarus, Oluwapelumi. Thank you, Faith, James. Thank you, everyone who is watching. Please drop a comment for me and let me know where you're watching from. I am streaming live from the city of Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire. Thank you once again for joining. Okay, so we have 4 basic emotions that attach to money. Number 1 is fear. Number 2 is guilt. Number 3 is shame. And number 4 is anxiety. Fear, guilt, shame, and anxiety. Those are the 4 emotions attached to money. How can these 4 emotions, how can they affect you negatively? That is what we want to talk about today. How can they affect you negatively in a way that you don't become productive, or you begin to overspend, or you begin to underspend? A lot of us today, we're supposed to spend money on our personal development, take trainings, go for conferences, seminars, hire a coach, get a mentor, buy books, go for spiritual retreat, or go for gym, go for meditation. We are supposed to do so many things to enhance our personal development, but we don't want to do them out of fear. Oh, if I pay this thing now, if I pay for this now, will I get results? Oh, if I put money here now, will my investment yield? So a lot of times we shortchange ourselves, and a lot of times we also shoot ourselves at the leg by overspending and underspending. So it comes in 2 ways. Is either you're overspending or you're underspending. So let's talk about fear. What does fear do to you when it comes to money matters? Fear of not having enough. A lot of people today, just like I mentioned earlier, they are in trouble today because of fear. Because of, oh, I don't know. If I buy this now, will I get results? Or fear of, oh, I don't have enough money. I need to make money. Let me go and make money. You put yourself under unnecessary pressure because of fear of you want to meet up. Oh, my mates are doing this. I can't do it yet. I need to rush. I need to hurry up. I need to get money by all means. And you discover that you start doing a lot of illegal things just because you want to make money. Okay, so that's what fear will do to you. Fear of provoking envy. That's another thing. Fear of provoking envy. A lot of us want to do some things today, but we cannot do it because we don't want people to start envying us. I know that happens a lot of time. Oh, if I take pictures with my new car, people will start envying me. Oh, if I buy a new house, people will envy me. Oh, if I move into a new office, my competitors will start envying me. I don't want anybody to talk about me. I don't want to be the talk of the town. I just want to hide. I don't want to spend. Okay, so because of that, things you're supposed to do, you are not doing them because you don't want people to envy you. So that is another fear. Fear of provoking envy. Another thing is fear of being humiliated. That comes when you don't have money to do something. For instance, your friends, your group of friends, they pick a particular attire for a particular event and you cannot afford it. And you start thinking, oh, I don't want to be humiliated. I don't want them to talk down on me. I don't want them to look down on me. Let me just go and get money by all means. I have to get that clothes by all means. I have to also buy it by all means. and you go all the way to look for that money by all means, and eventually you land yourself into trouble. Remember, what we are talking about is being in charge of our emotions in such a way that it doesn't override our personal finances decision. Our personal finances decisions should not be overridden by our emotions. So that is that about fear. Another emotion attached to money is guilt. Now, what is guilt? Guilt has to do with feeling bad about a negative impact you have had on others. If you have a negative impact on others now, and you start feeling bad, maybe you beat a child, that's a negative impact, right? And the child has been crying all day. That's a negative, and you start feeling guilty that, oh, if I didn't beat the child, I've not beaten the child now, you wouldn't have been crying. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I beat this child? You know, you start feeling bad for something wrong you have done to other people. That is guilt. Okay, so how does guilt come into play when it comes to money? Now, you might feel guilty because you have more than your friends, or you have money, you have money come to you easily. You know, there was a time someone was having this discussion that, do you know the reason why some married women stop being friends with their single friends? Like, I am married now, and I have some friends that are still single, they are not married yet. Most of the time, people complain that once their friends get married, they just disassociate from them. They don't want to have anything to do with them again. Why do you think that happens most of the time? Now, the reason is very simple. The reason is very simple. It's guilt. It's guilt of, oh, I am married and this person is not married. I hope they will not be feeling some kind towards me. Okay? Because at times, when it comes to money now, at times when you have money more than your friends, there are certain things you don't want to buy. You don't want to change your phone to iPhone, but you can afford it. The reason is that you don't want your friends to think, oh, you know, in fact, some people, you are just yourself. You have not changed. You are just your normal self. But some people will say, oh, so because you buy iPhone now, you don't want to talk to us again. Oh, because you are married now, you don't want to talk to us again. And that person start feeling guilty. So that is another reason why some married friends won't just want to stay off, because they don't want to experience that kind of emotion of guilt. Oh, I don't want to start feeling that, oh, because I'm married, I'm behaving one kind. Because ordinarily, some people will interpret it, oh, because you have money more than us now, that's why you don't want to pick our call again. And you'll be like, how the hell does this correlate? Like, how the hell? You know, so guilt is another thing. Guilt of, I don't want to, you are not doing what you're supposed to do just because you don't want to feel guilty. You don't want other people to think you have more than them. So you try to, you know, curtail what you do. And by doing that, at times you can shortchange yourself, all in the name of, you are trying to be careful. Okay, so that's number two. Then number three, emotion attached to money is shame. Shame is the most common and powerful emotion. Shame is the most common and powerful emotion associated with money, where people avoid what they're supposed to do just because they are shameful. Oh, there's something they call money misroad. And you will see some people say, oh, you're not supposed to have money. In fact, I don't even know why God gave you money. So they also feel ashamed, and they are not doing what they're supposed to do just because they feel other people will shame them, or other people will think money misroad, or other people will think, is it because you have money now, that's why you are doing shakara, or you are doing this. Okay, so that's what shame is all about. And shame comes in form of these two. Oh, you begin to shame yourself. Oh, I spent too much. You begin to beat yourself up. There are things that are necessary. You have some necessities that you need to take care of. But because you don't want to feel ashamed, you just ignore those things. You don't do them. Thank you, Victor. Thank you for joining. You just ignore those things. You don't do them. You don't want to spend too much. The shame of, I don't have enough money, and the shame of avoiding what you're supposed to do. The shame of avoiding what you're supposed to do. And the last one, which is anxiety, which is the last one we're going to be talking about before I call it a day, is when you're thinking about planning your finances and you're like, I am not sure this plan will be visible. I'm not sure this plan will be is foreseeable. I am not sure this financial plan I want to make will work. There is no need. When people, financial advisors, when they advise you that you should have a budget, you should have a financial plan, short financial plan, and long financial plan. And even before you even sit down to do that plan, you're already thinking, this thing will not work. Let me not bother myself. Let me not just start. This thing is not going to work. That's anxiety. Anxiety is when you're overwhelmed with your feelings that something is not going to work out even before you start it. Anxiety is, oh, I am not going to get results from this thing I want to invest in. There is no need. There is no point. You start getting agitated. You start getting overwhelmed anytime the idea or the thoughts of that thing comes to your mind. That is what anxiety is all about. Okay, so we come to the end of this presentation. Another emotion attached to money is envy, and I think I've talked about that one way or the other. Envy is when you join the bandwagon. You jump on the bandwagon just because you want to belong. You want to be part of the show. You want to be involved. Things that ordinarily you cannot afford, you start buying them. Exorbitant spending. You go and buy things that normally you cannot afford. You go and take a loan. You borrow money from people. People start chasing you up and down because you borrow loan. In fact, there's this loan company now. When you borrow money from them, they'll start sending messages to all your contacts that you're a debtor, you're a thief, you're a scammer. All sorts of embarrassment and disgrace. All in the name of you want to be up to standard. You want to belong. You want to jump on the bandwagon. So reckless spending is going to spring from your irrational emotion or your inability to control your emotion. Yes, thank you, Ambassador Babatunde Kayode. He said, envy is that one feeling that makes a lot of people, especially young people, go into bankrupt. Yes, envy. You want to do what someone else is doing. Meanwhile, you cannot afford it. In fact, some people will even want to show off just because they want to oppress some people on social media. They go and steal, they go and rob, they go and do all sorts, prostitution, ritual, just because they want to prove a point. Because they envy another person who is doing well. You have no idea how that other person got his or her money, but you just want to be like the person. You don't have any stable job. You don't have any other income apart from this one income you have, and yet you want to live large. Yet you want to live a big girl and a big boy life on social media and off social media. So envy is another thing. Spending recklessly because you envy other people and what they do. So in conclusion, we cannot do without emotion. We are emotional beings. Everywhere we go, we carry emotions. Like I told you when I wanted to start this video, we have close to 100 emotions as human. Okay, and we cannot exist without this emotion. The key is self-awareness. Self-awareness. Someone should help me type in the comments. Self-awareness. Be aware of this emotion. Be aware of what triggers it. Because there's always a trigger. So if you're about to spend recklessly or you're about to underspend, is either you overspend or underspend. Underspend is when you are supposed to spend for some things that are important to your life, but you don't want to spend for it because of fear. Overspend is coming from the place of envy or guilt. Like, oh, I don't want to spend, like when you spend too much, more than your budget or more than your income. Okay, so in conclusion, the key is self-awareness. Emotions are not bad after all. It tells you that you are human, and it also shows you things you're passionate about at the end of the day. It helps you to know things you're passionate about. It helps you to know more about yourself, your triggers, and what you are doing. Okay, so someone said priorities should be designed to aid careful and productive spending. Yes, priorities. Know what you need and what you want. A lot of us, we go for what we want and not what we need. At times you need to ask yourself, do I need this? Do I really need this? It's not a matter of whether you can afford it or not. Okay, it's not, and that is why where the wasteful spending comes into place. Exorbitant spending. Okay, because A lot of us, we think because we can afford something, let's just go for it. I have not been going to office this year. Even last year, I have stopped going to the office since March last year. I've been working remotely. And at times I see some nice dresses, some nice shoes online. In fact, some people will even send some nice pictures to me and say, "Oh, I have those shoes I'm selling, I have those bags I'm selling." But the question is, do I need it? A lot of my stuff are still home. I am not going anywhere. I don't wear them. Okay, I don't wear them. I have new things, new stuff that I shop last year just before the COVID lockdown started. I shop a lot of office dresses. They are still there. I, I can't wear them to anywhere because we are not going to the office. So if I had seen something online that I love and like and do this, the question is, can I afford it? Yes. Another question is, do I need it? No, I don't need it because I have tons of them around that I don't even have where to wear them to. So you need to be able to differentiate between your want and your need to avoid reckless spending. And I've come to the end of this presentation. I hope you all got value from it. And I hope you all can relate money, which is finances, and emotions and how they affect us. So I mentioned 5 emotions as related to money. I said we have fear, we have guilt, we have shame, we have anxiety, and we have envy. Those are the 5 basic emotions that are associated with money. We have so many other emotions, but the ones that are associated with money is those five that I've mentioned. Thank you everyone who has joined this live video. Ambassador Babatunde Kayode, I think this is the first time you'll be joining my live video, and it's so good to have you around. Thank you very much. Who else is online? Please, if you're watching the replay, just drop hashtag replay for me and I will say hi to you. Thank you once again. Thank you to the convener of this event, Rejoice Alda. This event is Women on Hills. It's an annual conference organized by Rejoice Alda. Thank you and God bless you. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye.